And we're back again into game 3 here of this best of 5 semifinals between DoV Chaos and Prismatic Esports. And it's been a 2-0 for DoV Chaos thus far, but it's not been smooth sailing. DoV Chaos tripping up a little bit, is struggling. They've not been completely one-sidedly dominating this series, especially in game 2. There was just really a slip up from Prismatic just outside their base that saw DoV Chaos crashing in and winning that in a 30-plus minute game. And coming into game 3 here, Prismatic are going to try one more time. They have to win this one to prolong this series. It's going to be DoV Chaos on the blue side for this one and Prismatic Esports on the red side. And in terms of bans, it's going to be the Darius, Wukong, Anivia, Trundle, and Cassidy bans coming out from the side of DoV Chaos. And for Prismatic, they're actually going to give up 2 bans in phase 1 this time. They're switching up their ban strategy. They're banning just the Aphelios. They saw how dangerous Dolphin was on it, and they could see that the Ashe pick for So Amusing kind of didn't work out as the counter pick they were hoping for. So they're going to ban Aphelios out, and then they'll ban the Mordekais and Rumble in phase 2 once again. Now, in terms of picks, Chaos going with the Volibear, Caitlyn, Thresh, Galio, and Jarvan. I like that first pick, Volibear, because we've seen it flexed around quite a bit. We've even seen it show up in the support position with the Senna here, so does keep Prismatic sort of guessing what you're going to be running into. And instead, Prismatic getting themselves the Livers bot lane, which we saw DoV Chaos play to great effect in game 1 here. So this time, they're going to be the ones with the Livers bot lane. The Garen, once again, for just storming Fizz and Echo, and that Echo going to be in the jungle for Noise. One of the champions he sort of pulled out earlier in the season, which kind of vanished after a while. One of his assassin sort of champions, that and Diana here. So looks like Prismatic picking really strong lanes, and they're looking to just smash the game early here. Their late game insurance is going to be primarily on So Amusing, on that Xayah. We saw how devastating Xayah is in team fights, and with the double assassin as well, that tells me they want to hunt and kill Dolphin. I think that's a really good adaptation against DoV Chaos's composition here, which is more standard. So DoV Chaos looking like they're not going to go wild experimenting with anything in game 3. They want to close this one out quick and clean here. They've put Dolphin onto that Caitlyn, a very safe sort of ADC here, but they've put a lot of eggs into that ADC basket. You can see not a lot of damage coming up from the rest of the team. You've got, sure, J4 builds a lot of damage early. The Galio also tends to build damage early, but neither of them are sort of carry their upfront burst here, and you're going to rely very heavily on Dolphin to be that sustained damage. So we'll have to see how that works, especially running into that double assassin from Prismatic, which I think is a great adaptation from them. Compositionally, I think DoV Chaos's composition has a clearer sort of identity here. You know exactly what they want to do. They know exactly what they want to do. When you see the Cataclysm comes down, you know it's time to roll. You see the heroic entrance, you know it's go time. So DoV Chaos much easier to sort of execute here, but I think Prismatic's counter composition just does a lot here against sort of what DoV Chaos has drafted. So definitely, I think a very solid chance of Prismatic coming back in this game. And for the sake of the series, I certainly hope that is the result here. Looking at neither team looking for an invade this time. Both of them just starting up standard. And for the side of Prismatic, I mean, game 3 back up against the wall. Sometimes people say that's the time you go wild, but on the other hand, I also think it's the time you want to play a bit more conservatively here, because you don't want to end up throwing an entire series based on a bad level 1. On the other hand, DoV Chaos actually do have a pretty solid level 1 with that Thresh there, with the death sentence, but they're opting not to go for it here. They have the leeway to sort of try it. If it works, they end the series that much faster. If it doesn't, they've still got another 2 games for an opportunity to come back in, but looks like they just want to play this one safe, and sort of a good attitude and mindset to have here in the playoffs, because they want to punch their ticket to the finals here, where the winner of this match will be facing off against SFAD here, who is the sort of returning champion from the spring split.
Live for a few centuries, and you will try.
And a bit of just of a dance off here on that top side. We saw Just Stormy playing around with that gigantic lion, who's roughly the size of the Volibear there for SSJR. And I'm glad to see SSJR also on a carry champion, because for players like SSJR, for players like Just Storming, both of them are players who can really sort of dominate through the top lane, and not just dominate the lane, but leverage those leads here into the other lanes. We saw Just Storming do that with the Garen as well in Game 2, and SSJR in Game 1 as well was able to do that. Bot side, Dark Prince looking for the engage onto Dolphin, and Caitlyn is a bit of a lane bully, but a lot of the advantages from the lane bully is from range and headshots. If they do get engaged upon, that's going to be risky, and they're setting up for a gank here from Noise, who's quietly waiting on the side. Did use the sweepers here to make sure he's not being spotted. Now they're looking for the engage, the flash engage from Dark Prince. Pull out the stun just barely misses. Dolphin able to flash out to safety with that heal. Gonna keep them safe for now, but that is Summoner's Blown in that bot lane, and Noise could potentially revisit there. Will be very good if he can start setting Dolphin behind from level 1, but Sonic Abs now showing up in that top lane. The flag and drag lands, and can they get the kill onto Just Storming? Yes, they can. The Maul comes down for the confirmed kill, and that's going to be Just Storming giving first blood over to SSJR. No teleport. He's going to have to run back to lane. Is going to miss out on a bit of CS here. And that was SFJR not bringing a combat summoner to lane as well. So it will be really, really great for him. Mickey Mouse in that mid lane. Going to be able to playful Trickster away from the Justice Punch. Will take a bit of damage, but will be fine for now. And I mean, an assassin is great, but it's hard to run an AP assassin into a Galio of all things. Galio, a bit of a magic resistance tank, as well as having a lot of base damage for himself as well. So I am going to be looking for Mickey Mouse to sort of roam and try and find his kills elsewhere here. I think Prismatic would benefit a lot from looking down to that bot lane, especially where you've got the squishy Caitlyn, where you've got Thresh, who isn't particularly tanky early off either, and sort of looking to find some kills there, because it's going to be hard to kill the Volibear in that top lane. It's going to be hard to kill the Galio in the mid lane here as well. Actually, one thing to note is Dolphin Judas in the mid lane does play a lot of Fizz himself, so we'll be very, very familiar with how to handle Mickey Mouse's Fizz here. We do see a gank potentially coming in from Noise and Mickey Mouse. They are looking for the kill. The flash comes out. They will be able to find it, but at what cost? Because it is going to be the flag and drag from Sonic Abs coming in. He returns the kill. Both mid laners did here, and that will be both their flashes blown. Mickey Mouse opted for the ignite as well compared to Judas, who went with the teleport. So Judas can just potentially teleport right back into lane here without missing a beat. Instead, it looks like Sonic Abs is going to be the one to pick up this nice bit of farm in the mid lane. We'll give him an advantage. He's up a level. He's up a bunch of camps as well against Noise, and he might now be looking to try and find Noise. Noise just picked up the Wolves. We'll be able to back out. We'll be perfectly safe for now, because if he had run into Sonic Abs, that would most likely have been a kill again for Sonic Abs in the jungle here. And so far, DoVC is doing quite well for themselves in the early game right now. We're seeing also SSJR starting to bully out Just Storming a little bit. Did go back to base, did go back and buy himself a Pommy Cinder. Now with the engage here from Plague Keeper is going to be matched. He will not go under turret here, will not have to. And Dolphin just able to pump out quite a bit of damage here, but it is split between So Amusing and Dark Prince. So no real risk of dying there from the side of Prismatic Esports bot lane. They do have to be careful though. Another death sentence could actually net a kill here. And the Livers bot lane from Prismatic having a much easier early game than we saw in Game 1 for DoVC Chaos. And great aggression from Dark Prince. He knows the perfect limits of his champion. Just dives in, gets the ignite off. Early pickup, easy kill for Dark Prince there in that bot lane. We do see, however, Sonic Abs coming in. He's not yet 6, but the aggression from Dark Prince might not pay off this time, as we do see Sonic Abs coming in. Can they get the kill? The heal comes out. It's going to give him a bit more movement speed. He's going to be able to dash over So Amusing. And Dark Prince able to get out unscathed there, and this might instead spell trouble for Judas, who is getting collapsed on by both Mickey Mouse and Noise here. The taunt comes out. The slow is there. Can he get away? No, because Noise body blocks that one, and Mickey Mouse able to find himself yet another kill, and the momentum swinging back the way of Prismatic Esports, not reflected in the gold. And we do see SSJR now looking down, flag and drag coming across. They do find Noise Stormbringer here as well, and Noise looking to get out, not yet level 6, has no chrono break, will feed yet another kill over to SSJR. And the teams right now just firing back and forth. Every time DoVC finds a kill, Prismatic is there to even things up. And for DoV Chaos, they're getting SSJR a hit. That's great for them in this solo top lane matchup here. It's great to be able to find another lead, and they're looking for another potential gank here. Sonic Abs coming in, the flag and drag comes across, but the flash from Just Storming will keep him safe. So SSJ are starting to really take over this top side here. For Prismatic, their benefit is that they're getting their assassin, the Fizz, ahead into the mid lane. He still probably won't have much kill potential onto Judas there, but he will definitely be able to pop either Sonic Abs or Dolphin in that bot lane and jungle. We do see Prismatic now starting up the Drake. They're trying to do this one here. Noise has arrived. Easy take for them. It is going to be Plague Keeper going in the play, but Dark Prince able to flash his way out to safety. Will he actually survive here? He might be able to. The Ignite ticking down, and it will be enough. Plague flashing over to secure that one. Wasn't necessary, but he will be able to pick up a kill. We did see Noise go down in the midst of that as well. He was corralled into the pit, collapsed in by 3, and that will be 2 kills being traded over for the Infernal Drake. And a bit of a mixed bag in terms of who comes out ahead of that one. I mean, in the short term, DoV Chaos finding themselves an almost 2,000 gold lead here is going to be absolutely great, and they're going to look to try and find So Amusing as well. The flag and drag coming across, the CC is solid. Lots of damage here. Is the ace in the hole going to come out? No, because Dolphin not yet 6. Instead, Sonic Ab is going to have to pay the price for that one because he got stuck under turret, and Prismatic firing back, finding themselves a bit of a lead. And in exchange, mid lane, Mickey Mouse and Judas just going at it. The Ignite coming out, I'm not sure it's going to really do anything, but hey, it's a fairly short cooldown as summoners go, so we'll be just fine. And I was just trying to say about how Prismatic do lose out in the short term by giving a bunch of gold over, but DoV Chaos has not shown themselves to really be able to sort of punish and sort of take over based on small leads thus far. And the Inferno, this is the only Inferno of the game here, will be absolutely huge come the later stages of the games, especially for all the carries here. And there's so many potential carry threats. Noise and Mickey Mouse will be able to look for those sort of quick bursts, and that additional 4% here will be massive for that. And So Amusing in these team fights, 4% adds up when you're hitting 5 members as well. Looking like they might potentially have found a engage onto So Amusing, but a good ultimate there. The Featherstorm will keep So Amusing safe for now. And DoV Chaos starting to find themselves leads in the top and bot lanes here, in the side lanes, and that was exactly what happened in game 1. Their side lane started finding leads, and this really just ran over the game here. Mid lane as well, Dolphin Judas doing pretty well for himself, finding a bit of a CS lead. Did die twice, but so far not impacting him too badly for now. I think a lot of it will just come down to Prismatic's mid-jungle duo. Noise still only level 5. He's actually quite far behind Sonic Abs at this point in time. Did struggle a little bit to try and find ganks, and unfortunately did end up dying a couple times in those attempted ganks as well. So that really set him behind. So that's going to set Prismatic further behind here. And if they don't really want to find a full 5v5 fight, what they want to do is sort of that chaotic sort of style that we saw in game 2, which favored Prismatic here. Now Sonic Abs in the jungle. He wasn't spotted out. He's going to show up. He's going to be able to see Noise as well. I think they pulled the trigger on that. If they just waited a couple more seconds, they would have been able to find Noise instead. But Noise instead going to be able to clear out this control ward with impunity here. No real risk because Sonic Abs ran out and they saw him going out here. So SSJ are just going to continue bullying a little bit in this top side. But Just Storming's been doing a great job catching up in terms of CS, in terms of experience here. Is no longer really behind at all. And Sonic Abs waiting here. I wonder what he's waiting for. The sun comes out, SSJR, the flag and drag comes in. There we go. There's the Cataclysm. They do find it. Just Storming, no flash, will go down. And Sonic Abs picking this one up. They are going to be able to get a bunch of damage onto this top lane turret here. And one thing to note is that SSJR did run the press the attack, it looks like, on him, on the Volibear here, so he's probably going to look to build a bit of attack speed as well. Probably not straight tank Volibear, which we have seen come out of the top lane a couple of times. So far, he is building the components for that Sunfire Cape, but will likely transition into a little bit of offensive items later on as well. And besides from that top lane abuse, that bot lane starting to open up a bit of a gap as well. Dolphin now 92 to 75 CS here. If we take the look at the gold, he's not that far ahead because So Amusing did manage to pick up 2 assists here versus the 0-0 and 0 of Dolphins. So things are still fairly balanced, and we should start seeing the point where Xayah gets stronger in the mid game here with the assistance of Rakan as well. And that's that sort of trough where I expect to see Prismatic really kick into high gear, where they've got their assassins in the mid game, where they do get their power spikes. We should start seeing their first major completed items as well. And you're going to start seeing the Caitlyn fall off a little bit here while Xayah comes online. They've got themselves quite a bit of a solid AoE CC, and I mean, that's where they can start looking for their advantage. The Drake, the second Drake of the game is up. It is going to be an Ocean Drake, and we might see a setup here from both teams. They're looking to pick this one up. It is going to be Prismatic picking themselves up the Scuttle to start things off for now. That will give them vision. There is a pit in the, there's a ward in the Dragon Pit, pardon me, from both teams here. I'm not sure if either team is aware of that. So looks like they're just fighting for position, but they don't start it up. The other team will know for sure that they're not on it, and it looks like they might go for it now as the control ward gets put down here by, it looks like Dark Prince potentially there. But they've abandoned it completely, so there's no point dropping a ward if you aren't going to protect it, and that will get cleared out, and that means we're probably not going to see a Ocean Drake fight till we see some sort of advantage coming out here. Might be the bot lane. They're looking for the advantage. Sonic Abs going in. Is he going to flag drag Cataclysm? No, he's not. There's just too many tools to get out of there. And so they're just going to shove this one in, and they might just look for something now. Mid lane, a fight breaks out. Mickey Mouse has to go golden. That's a stopwatch used, but Dolphin Judas sticks around. He doesn't care that he's taking turret shots. He finds a solo kill, and that's the advantage that DoV Chaos was looking for. They'll be able to handily pick themselves up an Ocean Drake here for themselves. And Dark Prince riskily jumping over the wall with that blast cone there. We'll be able to hop back to So Amusing. We'll be safe for now, and DoV Chaos slowly accruing themselves the slightest of leads. 3,000 right now at 14 minutes. Well, I say slightest of lead. It is a sizable amount, and they're gonna look to slowly just find advantages here. So Amusing is going to be able to Feather Storm, dodge out the trap, and now Plague Keeper is the one in trouble here. He got a beautiful death sentence, but he has to run away. The Ignite being popped on him. The shield from his Lantern going to negate some of that, but he is going to be low for now. And now Sonic Abs waiting in the wings. He's going to go in the flash as well. The flag and drag, but the Cataclysm does not land. Dark Prince able to flash himself out to safety immediately here. And that's going to be a great escape here from Prismatic. They will be just fine, and Sonic Abs really struggling to find anything in this bot lane for now. Meanwhile, Noise going the opposite direction. He goes topside to look for SSJR, but that is a tanky burr here, and they can't take it down. He's gonna dance his way, knowing that he's safe for now. But Noise looking for the return gank. There is the control ward that will spot him out, and Just Storming taking a lot of damage here. Can they get it? No, they can't. Instead, bot side, it looked like Plaguekeeper going a little too aggressive. He's gonna go down, as is Sonic Abs. So Amusing, and Dark Prince just dancing their way around the turret there. Beautifully played from them as they pick up 2 kills into that bot side here. Absolutely massive for them. The unfortunate part is 1 goes to Dark Prince, 1 to So Amusing. So Dark Prince actually getting a lot of kills here. He's 3-1-1 right now. That's absolutely massive for him. And Prismatic Esports bot lane and turret live to tell another tale. And that lead that DoV Chaos was sort of building up is getting negated a lot by these sort of fill ganks into the bot lane. And you don't want to keep on feeding that Xayah here, because So Amusing on the Xayah, we've seen how strong Xayah can be in these team fights. You don't want to give them an edge into the mid game where they can look to sort of close things out and make your own life harder. That being said, we are past the 15-minute mark here, and no turrets down really, so we're still sort of in that laning phase. Noise now picking up the Herald for himself. Could look to crack a turret, but all the outer turrets here for the side of DoV Chaos are looking disgustingly healthy. Instead, it is Prismatic's turrets sort of under fire for now. And again, Sonic Abs looking for yet another gank into the bot lane. The flag and drag comes across. They will be able to catch Dark Prince. If isolated him this time, the Cataclysm is good. But unfortunately, that dash away, the range is so long when he's jumping back to his lover there. But he is extremely low. Death Sentence lands onto So Amusing. He's going to get popped this time. No escape for him. The dancing shoes have come off, and it's going to be Dark Prince now running away. He has to be careful. There isn't, it looks like, any form of engage here, so they will be fine. But that is first turret going the way of DoV Chaos here. And finally, we might see an end to the laning phase. Because the laning phase has been fairly static for both teams. Neither of them have been doing particularly well in it. DoV Chaos has been finding themselves CS advantages, slight gold advantages. But, I mean, I guess the holding pattern was good for them because they do want to give time for Dolphin Judas to skill up as well. That's also kind of risky, letting Mickey Mouse slowly just continue scaling up. He's already got the Proto Belt complete here. We'll have to see if he opts to go for that Zhonya's or whether he goes for that Lich Bane. Nicks Dolphin in the mid lane, having to flash out, and the Sonic Abs running aggressively in. I think he was waiting for SSJR to arrive, but SSJR was a little low. Has to be careful now. He was followed by Just Storming here. Might get collapsed on. And Dark Prince hopping over the wall. And everybody's starting to show up here. Chum the Water's coming out. It is going to find the Burr, but the Armored Bear a little bit too big of a mouthful there for Fizz's Fish. And now they're going for Shelly. Shelly prepping for the charge. Can they burn it down in time? No, they can't. And Shelly going to be able to take about half of that turret's health off. But consider how safe that Dolphin Judas has been on it. Basically no damage on that mid lane turret so far. Does not bode well for Prismatic in trying to take that mid lane turret. And now instead it is going to be a 5-man push into the mid lane here with only the Lovers bot lane to stop it. They're going to have to back off. Everybody else based an interesting choice from Prismatic, and one that they might come to regret, as the gold lead now goes up to about 3,000 at 20 minutes. But more notably here, not only is it a gold lead, it is DoV Chaos just sort of running amok here without contest. The next Drake will be coming up. It is going to be Cloud Soul here once again on this map, and Dark Prince has to be careful. He is going to get caught here. Where's his lover? Nowhere close. And Dark Prince looking at, he got stuck in the wall there for a little bit. He's going to get absolutely melted there. And that is going to give a numbers advantage once again to DoV Chaos around this Drake. That's going to be very, very unfortunate for Prismatic. And DoV looking like they're playing a much more measured game, this game 3 here. All the way from drafts to level 1 to the way they're playing now. They're not going quite as crazy, quite as wild. They're just letting their lanes show their mechanical prowess. Confident that their laners here will be able to win out in isolated lanes. And that's why you're seeing them get these sort of like one-person catches, and then they just go grab an objective, catch one person, so on and so forth. They're not overplaying it too much. That being said, they did kind of overcommit in the bot lane a couple of times, but ultimately it wasn't too bad here. And now we do see the trap coming down. Just Storming was dancing. Might have misread the range on that trap a little bit. We do see Dark Prince now coming up, and it looks like now with that bot lane outer turret, with that mid lane outer turret down, DoV Chaos playing by the books. They're looking now to that top side to get their last remaining outer turret, which is fairly low. It's down to about, I'd say, 25 to 30% health there. So would go down if Dolphin Judas gets a bit of time with it. And we do see the first IE coming out here for Dolphin. Chum the Water's coming out. It will be able to find Judas in the mid lane there, and Noise with the chrono break is going to keep himself safe. Turn around and get the bounty as well. 150 gold bounty onto Dolphin, which just went the way of Noise. That actually might cost them the mid lane turret here. We do see SSJR coming up to dissuade them. For now, they do get another big chunk of damage, but the turret still stands. And Prismatic still looking to try and even up the score. They did manage to get the top lane turret at some point there. But now it's just Stormin trying to hold this one against Plague Keeper and Dolphin Judas here. Death Sentence comes out, but completely misses there. And instead they're just gonna root up Just Storming there under his turret, and the damage is good. The hit shot comes out. They actually get Just Storming there. You can't underestimate the burst damage. The ignite that came out along with the box and the hit shots and crits there were absolutely massive. Combined with that crit modifier from IE, you just can't underestimate that. Now the Lovers bot lane under that turret, but the turret itself is gone, so there's not much to risk. They're gonna go. Cataclysm comes in. He's gonna flash back out because Noise has arrived, and Noise looking for something on the back end. Can he find anything here? Has to be careful off the trap. Flashes coming out from multiple members of both sides, and Noise not gonna find anything. But that is the flash blown from both Plague Keeper And Dolphin, Sonic Abs blowing his earlier in the engage as well. They only lose Dark Prince's flash for that one, so worthwhile trade here. But that is DoVC Chaos picking up yet another turret for themselves, and they're just playing a really solid macro game here. They have to be careful though, they might not want to overdive this one. SSJR going under turret, still has the Stormbringer, but there's multiple members coming down to back up Prismatic in this inner turret. And while playing it slow does have its benefit, it gets harder and harder the more turrets you take down. And now with all the outer turrets down, you can see how quickly Prismatic can sort of reinforce their inner turrets here. So DoVC Chaos are going to have to find something now to try and find another way of cracking these turrets here. And unfortunately, I don't think Dragon's going to be the answer here for the side of DoVC Chaos, because it is going to be Cloudsoul. And while Cloudsoul does give you a boost in movement speed, that's not ultimately what DoVC Chaos' composition is about. It's not about necessarily finding sort of positioning. It's more a straight up in-your-face teamfight brawler composition here. And the other advantage of a Cloudsoul is usually the stacking cooldown reduction. Well, who really needs or wants the cooldowns here? From the side of DoVC Chaos, Ace in the hole is actually a detriment in team fights because the wind-up time is so long that you'd be better off just auto-attacking there. The box, well, that's great too, but it's more of a sort of positional thing rather than a critical tool to start and initiate team fights. You've got the Stormbringer in the top lane for SSJR, but it's more for turret disabling. Sure, it gives you a bunch of boost in your stats as well, but again, not that initiator you're looking for. The only ultimate that really benefits from this is going to be that Cataclysm for Sonic Abs here, as well as the heroic entrance for Dolphin to split push, but not necessarily the best one. So stacking Soul, unfortunately, not going to be that advantage they need. Noise getting bursted down before it can even chrono break there. The damage you can put out is disgusting, and they get the inner mid turret to boot as well. So while Cloudsoul might not be the answer, getting catches like that certainly is. Chum the Waters landing onto Dolphin Judas, but the heroic entrance buys him time. He's going to be able to get out safe, and the fight has turned. Only the Lovers bot lane left alive for now. They're going to get shredded down. Just Storming finally showing up to the fight. They do manage to answer back. They get SSJR, but that's not who you want. Yeah, you get a bounty onto So Amusing, but yeah, look at what you traded. 3 for 1 there in that fight, and that was an inner turret, which is pretty hard for DoV to siege on, and they managed to get that. Now they can just fall back, pick themselves up yet another Drake, and while sure it won't help them close the game, nobody's going to say no to a free 10% cooldown reduction there. And Prismatic just have completely seemed to lose any sort of lead or proactivity this game. They've just been sort of sitting back, letting DoV Chaos call the shots in this game, push into them. And while that has somewhat worked for them, they have managed to get some really great tower plays, especially in that bot lane. Even in this mid lane here, they did play around the turret fairly well right at the moment they left turret range. It's not a way to win the game, and I'm not sure that they can count on themselves to scale up into the late game necessarily better than DoV Chaos. Their tools are good. Like I said, the double assassin I think was a great counter to putting your eggs into the Caitlyn basket, but at the same time, the later it gets, the riskier games get as well. And I would like to see Prismatic sort of start making proactive moves, set up ambushes, look to catch out the solo members here of DoV Chaos. You always see Dolphin Judas looking to split push on that bot side. You often see an abandoned side lane as well in the form of SSJR collapse in on them, find a kill. Instead, now they are risky. The play comes across. He does hop out, but just in time to walk in to the death sentence there. And Dark Prince as well hopped into the Cataclysm. Questionable play from them, and that's going to cost them too. And this means DoV Chaos get again another chance to try and take down one of these very stubborn turrets here, potentially the mid lane inhibitor turret this time. So Amusing doing a great job of clearing these minion waves. The Death Sentence comes out. It does catch onto Noise, but Platekeeper does not want to dive back in there. The headshot comes out onto So Amusing, and the work is massive. We're used to seeing Storm Razors as well on Caitlyn's. Well, Dolphin doesn't even need that. He's just going to go straight up with the IE Rapid Fire Cannon. He does have another Kershi Sart in his inventory though, so we might start seeing the Storm Razor again. We'll have to see. But so far, those IE headshots have just been doing work. Judas in the bot lane does find a turret, and SSJR though, that's what I want to see from Prismatic. They do manage to collapse and catch him with 2. That Burr goes down. Increased health is nice, but does not always help, especially against a percent health execute there. And that's what Prismatic need to keep on doing. They need to keep on finding these sort of catches here. And so far, DoV Chaos has been giving it to them. You see SSJR and Judas constantly split pushing their goal, take them down, shove out the mid lane and catch out the side lanes. And with that bot lane inner turret down as well, that means an even longer lane, even faster collapse here from Prismatic. But the trade-off that favors DoV Chaos here is the loss of vision from the side of Prismatic. They are going to have to start using a lot more wards, make sure they have that ward line set up. So far, they've been doing a good job compared to DoV Chaos, who right now does not have a lot of vision in the jungles around the objectives. They are fairly blind, and that's what's caused Sonic Abs to walk dead into just storming there. The flag and drag will keep him safe for now, but that means that they're going to lose priority on Baron. When you take over, Prismatic's been doing a good job. Their vision line is fairly high up, especially considering that they've been shoved into their base, and now they're going to start this Baron up. Will get spotted right now by the Scryer's Bloom, and that's going to trigger DoV Chaos to come running in. Baron is going down, but it's not that fast. It's down to half health, and they have been taking damage. Playkeeper running back out, and it is going to be engaged from Sonic Abs. We do see the heroic entrance as well. Cataclysm is going to come out, and it's going to catch Noise into the pit. Where can he go? Nowhere except straight back to the fountain, and now Mickey Mouse running into the back. He flashed, but it's not going to keep him alive at all, and that's going to be an ace going the way of DoV Chaos. And DoV Chaos, they're actually going to just teleport straight in. They're not going to bother about the Baron at all. They're looking instead to try and pick up this turret instead. I think it was a bit of a premature teleport there. They could have bought a bit more time for their minions by teleporting onto a minion when it's under fire from the turret there, but still it will be good enough for them to get the inhibitor. They might have to be careful. It's going to be 10 seconds before Noise gets back up, 5 before Dark Prince here. And they might want to rotate back and join the rest of the team mid lane as they're looking for this inhibitor turret. SSJR walking up a little too early. Will take a couple of turret shots, but he's tanky enough to shrug it off there. And that's going to be 2 inhibitor turrets and an inhibitor going down for DoV Chaos. And it's going to be that bot lane inhibitor no less, which should give them a nice bit of pressure to go for Baron here. Instead, they recognize Dragon coming up in about 30 seconds. They're running down there. They want to get themselves Soul here. Why not give yourself just a bit more movement speed as well as even more ultimate cooldown reduction? And they've swept everything out. They know that a lot of the wards that Prismatic had set up are all gone now. And so we'll have to see if this death push here works for them. Just Storming actually taking the the blast cone over the wall instead. So he's going to be safe, and now Noise has to be careful. He might get collapsed on. This damage coming out from the turrets is absolutely massive. He does get away. Chum the Waters comes out, will dissuade engage for now, but Noise is too low. I don't think he can contest this Drake here. And it will be a 4v5. They opt to start this one up. Just Storming waiting in the wings here. I don't know what he's exactly looking to try and do as the Soul instantly goes over. He hops over and he's going to be now in the pit. Does still have the flash. Is he going to be able to get out? The damage they're pumping out is taking some time. That Phantom Dancer as well as the resistance is doing work. And Dolphin going to be able to pick that up, but he's bought his team time. Prismatic pick up 2 turrets. They're going for a greedy third here. It might cost them their lives though. Plaguekeeper, the first one to come in here. He's not the tankiest though, and he will be able to play out Mickey Mouse as well as Dark Prince. The Flag and Drag doesn't quite catch anyone, but they're going in. They do manage to absolutely just shred Mickey Mouse immediately. Dark Prince flashing over the wall. Can he get out? There's flashes coming out now. Flag and Drag gonna catch him, and that's 2 down in exchange for the inhibitor turret. And this might trigger a last second push. Are they gonna go? No, they're gonna go for Baron instead for the safety play here. Noise is still alive, does have flash, does have smite, does have chrono break as well, but he does not have vision, and that's the most critical component for this steal attempt. But he does have a Scryer's Bloom. He's gonna pop it here, get vision onto the Baron, and he's waiting in the wings. He does have a blast cone. He's super low in health though. Has to be careful. Are they gonna be able to stop him? He hops in. Can he get it? He has to chrono break immediately back out, and that is Baron now going down the way of DoV Chaos. Judas looking for the kill, and he will be able to get it. Chrono Break was already used, so it will be a 5v4 defense against the Baron buff here, but instead DoV Chaos going back to base once again. They did have quite a bit of gold in their pockets, so they do want to spend almost 3,000 here for Judas in that Top lane pushing. He does not have teleport, but does have the heroic entrance available. Could potentially use it. Go back to base, walk up and use it to re-engage with his team. And everything going up DoV Chaos's way right now. They've found their strength, and that sort of mid-game hump is kind of being overcome right now by Dolphin. He's got himself the Storm Razors as well. So if you thought those hit shots hurt before, imagine it with that rapid fire proc as well. The interrupt onto just Storming's back. Just going to delay him a little bit here. And it looks like they're going for a 2-2-1 split push. I'm not sure this is the right call here, but it's what they're looking at doing. And we now do finally see Dolphin heading up to that top side. He will be key to sort of cracking these turrets here. Has a ton of range. Is poking a bit down on Just Storming, but Just Storming has enough armor to stay safe for now. They will be able to easily take this top lane in a turret that's just standing gold at this point. Chum the Waters comes out as Mickey Mouse was looking for the flank. That will be down for the next 50 seconds here, and that is a key ultimate for them. They need it to find Dolphin, and the double assassin composition right now not working out for them at all. Playkeepers getting spun on, but will be able to get out safe. Instead, the Death Sentence comes in. He's going to follow in the play as well. Sonic Abs with that flag and drag, but there's no follow-up damage, so Just Storming will be able to disengage. But that still does mean, again, a 5v4 defense. And Noise was forced back to base. That is another inhibitor. 2 inhibitors going down. That's double super minions right now. DoV Chaos just pushing in. This is the last fight here. They have to do or die at this point in time. Cataclysm comes in for a beautiful 5-man heroic entrance. Everybody going down. Multiple people going gold, and Playkeeper finding Just Storming there. Where is Dolphin? He's alive, and where Dolphin's alive, damage is sure to follow. So Amusing does manage to pick up SSJR, but it's a little too late. He goes down as well, and now the Assassins are looking for the backline. Can they find it? No, they can't. They can't get through the front line, and this will be DoV Chaos picking up a clean 3-0 sweep here. They do manage to get themselves the ticket into the finals for a repeat grudge match against SFAD here. And what an amazing match between these two games. Prismatic just looking a little lost here in game 3. They never really felt like they were in the driver's seat, even when they were up gold. They just kind of sat back and let DoV Chaos dictate the pace of the match, and because they could dictate the pace, they could dictate the results of the match as they pick this one up. 33.5 minutes here, and Dolphin, I mean, I praised the Prismatic team composition, but it was predicated on 2 assassins diving and killing Judas. And as you can see from the 9-0 and 11 scoreline here from Dolphin, it just never happened. They never really threatened Dolphin at all, and he just could free fire through these fights. And Caitlyn free firing is a recipe for disaster. On the other hand, So Amusing 4-3-3 just could not find ways to safely get into the fights, and honestly looked like Dolphin had a much better Xayah game here in game 1. So our regrets and commiserations to Prismatic here, as they do get knocked out at the semi-final stage here, and DoV Chaos going to be more than happy here. They were the regular season #1s. We're looking extremely, extremely strong right up to the last moment where they ended up dropping a game here to dropping a series to SFAD, and that will be exactly who they face in the finals this coming week here, this Friday, when they face off against SFAD. It will be a revenge match. They want to show that they are the stronger team here, and that one loss was just a fluke, a mistake. They don't want to give a win back over to SFAD once again for back-to-back wins in the Coalition League here. And if you are SFAD, you're looking at this DoV Chaos composition. We saw a very different DoV Chaos here in this series. It was a much more measured, non-rush team. Yes, Game 2 shows that they can get a little sloppy here, as Game 2 was a very back and forth swingy sort of game, which is not what you want to see out of DoV Chaos necessarily. But keep in mind, they had a bye week where they didn't play. And considering how that went, you can excuse a little bit of rustiness here. And now with this clean 3-0 sweep, you can see that they've shaken off the rust. Game 3, not the fastest game, but it was a very methodical closeout here. And I'm sure they can take this week here to polish their mechanics and be ready for the finals. So I'm expecting an extremely, extremely amazing sort of back and forth finals between SFAD and DoV Chaos for the Demacian finals. And with that, that is all the semifinals here in Demacia completed. We still will have the Noxian the Noxus semifinals tomorrow. I think we only have the one because unfortunately Exnol did not get any of their games in, so we will not be having a live stream of that one on Wednesday. We'll just have the 7 men versus MG Nitro games tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. So with that, thanks for watching. Appreciate all of you who tuned in here, and keep yourselves safe. We'll see you tomorrow or on Friday, whenever you choose to come.